Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today is going to be just a video of pulling the bed off of my 2001 Dodge Ram 2500. So it is fairly simple, 6 bolts, disconnecting some electrical connectors, taking the taillights out, fuel filler neck. It's very straightforward. You can do this. So stick around and we'll kind of go through that process together. All right guys, here are the main tools that I'm gonna be using today. It's a T25 Torx bit, 10mm, 15mm sockets, impact extensions, and then one of the plastic clip pullers. This is pretty much all you're gonna need other than either a ratchet or impact. I'm gonna use a 1/2" Milwaukee impact to get all the bed mount bolts out. But other than that, this should be all that you're gonna need. All right, on the truck, we've got 3 T25 screws there. That's for the filler neck. Those will have to come off, so basically the mating surface of that filler neck will be detached from the side of the bed. So that'll be the first thing that's going to have to come off. Next will be that T25 and then that T25 up there. That is kind of what holds this tail light in place, other than some grooves and stuff that we'll have to kind of pull back on the tail light when we go to take it off. And then the tail lights will come out. All right guys, looking underneath the truck, this is the very front on the passenger side, so closest to the cab. That is your 15mm bed mount bolt. And then there's a 10mm that holds this ground strap, so that'll have to come off as well. The driver's side, front of the bed, that is your 15mm there, and that's gonna have to come out. All right, so this is laying on the passenger side, back towards the tailgate. There's gonna be a 15mm there, and then another 15mm there, right up in that little guy there. And there's actually going to be little openings in the frame where you guys can put your extension and your socket up through there to be able to pull those two out. Now for electrical connections, this itself is going to go with the bed. So these little lights here have got to be disconnected up here on both sides. And we just got to run through and make sure the rest of the harnesses are broken free. But there are your other bolts, one there and one up there, and I sprayed them down with some PB Blaster a couple hours ago just to try to give myself a little bit of a break pulling these out, because I don't think the bed's ever been off. All right guys, up here for the tail light harness, there's actually a connection here, and then there is some zip ties that are going to hold this end. Those are going to have to come off, but then the harness for the tail light can actually stay in the bed with it when we take that off. Alright guys, so I actually can't take this bulb out because it's been hot glued in. So when you're working on a truck that somebody else has worked on, you're never sure what you're going to get. So the nice thing is there is literally a connection right down here. So I can pop this little zip tie holder out, disconnect it from there, and then just remove the harness with the tail light, and we can still get this off without having to destroy the housing. So I pulled the bed off and laid it on its front side and inside the garage so I don't get yelled at by the HOA. All right, guys, so it's the next day. A buddy of mine came down, helped me get this bed off, which was a huge help. But let me kind of show you what I'm working with and just kind of give you a rundown on what gave me the most fight through getting this bed off. So the bed bolts themselves, the 6 bed bolts, came off very, very easily. Probably didn't even really need an impact. It just sped the process up and made it a little less miserable than sitting there cranking on them with a manual ratchet. But I have a Hideaway gooseneck ball that's in my bed that's been put on aftermarket, and that the 4 bolts that hold that plate in were just brutal to get out, and we had to put some heat to them. Didn't really film that part because if you just have a regular bed, it's not really going to apply to you, but just kind of give you guys a quick rundown on how it looked. So here's the plate I'm talking about. This actually kind of overlaps over the bed, so this had to come out in order for the bed to come off, and then these ran top down and the nuts were on the bottom side of the bed. And don't know if you can see, but the threads here were pretty bad. So these are actually going to get replaced this week. I don't know what kind of coated bolts these were, if they even had a coating on them, but I'm not putting those back in. All right, guys, so one last tip before I sign off. I hope this was helpful to you guys if you're just looking for a quick video on how to get your bed off your truck. When I pulled mine off, I used basically 4 high-strength straps to be able to lift straight up. And as you saw in probably one of the clips in the video, I just put some foam between the bed itself and the cab so that when I did pick up on it, because my driveway is slanted forward, that it would kind of bump into the foam and not the cab and kind of scratch it up. So that's why I did that. But I also pulled it off with the tailgate on and closed. So if you're doing it with 3 other buddies and you're just lifting it off, I would still recommend doing it with that tailgate, because that's going to help keep everything square and the bed itself not like tweaking or getting off when you have to go put it back on. So that's just my suggestion and just what I did. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching. Really appreciate you. Please like and subscribe to the channel. We have a bunch of new content videos coming out, working on the truck and getting it back to where it should be. So you guys won't want to miss it. All right, take care.